We'll be talking about that here in just a few minutes, folks. That's right. Welcome to the American Adversaries Drive Time Primetime Show, as we once again come to you live from the Mercury Free Broadcasting Studios on FM 105.5 and AM 660 The Answer. And please don't forget to call my dentist, Dr. James E. Hardy, for the best in dental care. You can reach him at 407-678-3399. And please don't forget to ask him about his great book, Mercury Free. Speaking of great books, I have been immersed in a great book for the last, 36 hours or so since I laid my hands on a copy of Unlikable: The Problem with Hillary, of course, by Ed Klein. It's a great book, very entertaining and very, very educational. And you'll get a little taste of what I'm talking about a little bit later on in the show, because in the 6 o'clock hour, matter of fact, right about 6:10, put it on your list of things to do. We're going to have Ed Klein on the show, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about with him. But we have a lot to talk about before then, too. I am Christopher Hart. Along with me is, once again, the chairman of the board. That'd be the NFLPA former Players Union boss, Mike McBath.
All right, great to be here. I'm looking forward to our discussion on last night's big event.
So I was going to say, you did see it?
Yes, I did.
All right, so we'll be getting right to it. 407-774-8255 is the number if you folks want to chime in. We're also up on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type in Pariscope, spelled Pariscope. That's it, Periscope, and then there will be. You'll be able to see exactly what we're doing. You'll also be able to see on the desk in front of us a copy of Unlikable. But as I said, if you want to chime in, feel free to do that. In the meantime, we'll get right down to business. It was an entertaining evening in some aspects, boring in other aspects. But, you know, just like every good fight in Las Vegas, you have celebrities in the crowd. Did you see any last night, Mike?
You know, Chris, I scanned the crowd because it's always fun to see who's there, and it shows what excitement that party could bring to society. And I noticed a good friend of ours is there.
Really?
Jesse Jackson.
Not Jess.
Oh, yeah, and I wasn't sure if it was his entourage or his illegitimate children. I wasn't sure which was what. But what was really interesting was, you know, here is the man, he's for diversity, right?
Supposedly.
He has sued American industry, harassed many companies, destroyed many people.
Yep.
And wait a second, Jesse, I looked up on the stage. This is your Democratic Party. I didn't see any blacks up there.
Nope.
I didn't see any American Indians.
Nope.
I didn't see any Latinos.
Nope.
I didn't see any Asians.
Not a one.
Now, I wonder if he's going to threaten a class action or something
against them. How about a boycott?
Or maybe a boycott.
That'd be perfect.
He should boycott Hillary, because she may have plotted this.
And he should get the rest of his Rainbow Coalition to do the same, right?
I mean, there was a guy that did a great deal for a lot of people, didn't he?
Hey, he could get paid a lot of money by that old Clanton Foundation, right?
I mean, think about this. I think he has a lawsuit right there. Where is the diversity in the party that claims they're the party of diversity?
Wasn't there last night, was it?
I guess not. I guess all the others were sitting in the back seats and they were up front.
It was awful white last night, not just up on the stage, but in the crowd too. And
what did you think of Colonel Sanders? I mean, every time I see that guy, Bernie, I mean, I think honestly of Colonel Sanders, because his dialogue in the economic atmosphere is so flawed, and I can't believe that no one called him out. That one statement. Think about this, Chris.
Well,
I love that one where he goes, well, there's 1/10 of America has more assets and money than the other 90%. Lie, huge lie, not even in the ballpark, but there were so many facts that weren't factual. Why doesn't somebody call them out? Why don't these professors write this up and send it through their school mail that the guy is an absolute moron?
That's not what it's all about. See?
Oh, that's right. Truth is not part of the game.
No, this is politics. And in politics, once again, it's like professional wrestling. And we saw that again last night. They got out there. It's just like wrestlers when they get out in the ring and they do their little speeches and they what they call work the crowd.
Right.
And that's what they were doing last night. And obviously, two were much better at it than the others.
Right.
But they were working the crowd. And in essence, though, this whole exercise, as far as Hillary and these other four, she is being billed as the champion. They are playing the role of the enhancement talent. So, by the way, Lucas, tell folks what I mean by enhancement talent. Do you have this microphone on? Yeah, okay.
Am I hot?
Yeah.
Enhancement talent is usually the guys that put somebody else over that's supposed to look like they can be the champion. So you sit there and you throw some enhancement talent to the guy you're building up, and he looks even better.
Right. In other words, there are people in wrestling that go in there to get beat up, to make the champion look more champion-like.
Right. Okay. Sometimes called jobbers.
Exactly, and that's what these other four basically are, and I'm including Bernie Sanders in that. You know, there are some indications that he got some bumps in the social media. We'll get to that in just a minute, because somebody else that you may not expect, we'll get to that in a second, got a much bigger bump in the social media. But Bernie Sanders, to me, looked confused. He sounded at times confused. At the moment that he thought was going to be this big moment in the night when he was going to go after Hillary about the emails, turned right around and turned out to be the high point of the night for Hillary Clinton. You know, that was supposed to be a criticism of his. Your damn emails. Yeah, he did. He is so inept as a debater. And then every time he would talk, he would raise his arms up in the air like he's preaching to the crowd. That works for a very small, uninformed, which is who you're talking about. This is why, you know, his people and the people around him never ask these questions. They don't know what he's talking about because they don't know anything about economics either. So, you know, here he is as Colonel Sanders. Here's Hillary Clinton. Now, I'll say Hillary Clinton is in her element in the debate. And this is why I said several weeks ago that if she were to debate Carly Fiorina, chances are Hillary Clinton would win. And it's all because of style points. It has nothing to do with facts. This is why I say politics is like professional wrestling. She stands there and lies to you with a smile on her face.
Well, she's had years of practice. You got to understand that, Chris.
Exactly, and we're going to be talking more about that later on with Ed Klein.
Right.
But she is definitely well practiced at it. Carly Fiorina is more matter of fact and down to business. And you put that up against Hillary's friendly demeanor, she'll hold her own. At least hold her own in a debate, and that will be considered winning.
Chris, the question, though, is...
But now, as far as last night, go ahead.
Yeah, last night, do you actually think that Colonel Sanders came on and made the statement that we ought to forget Hillary's emails and, you know, pay attention to... Well, the problem with that, I believe that was a setup. Because do you think Colonel Sanders really believes he can be president of the United States? You can't be that stupid. I mean, the reality of it is anybody with any background and any form of education in economics could rip that guy every way possible. So I wondered, this was the way to try to wash something, you know, with our sweetheart.
I believe the whole night was a setup. From the very beginning, Hillary Clinton looked so prepared. I got the feeling that somebody slipped her some, let's just say, cheating points. I got the feeling that she knew the questions ahead of time. And because she was just so right on with the answer. Now, maybe she's that good. No, I don't think so.
Somebody can't. Oh, wait a second. If she's that smart, then how come she couldn't remember where all the servers were?
Well,
oh, that's right. We get this confused, don't we?
Yeah, I think the whole night was a put on. You know, Anderson Cooper has a tie to the Clinton Foundation, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't know if the public's aware of this, but he is on the Clinton's Global Initiative Board. Now, do you think there might have been any contact between the two, possibly?
And do you think there might have been, for a serious journalist, the appearance, even the appearance of a conflict of interest? Oh, but no, Anderson Cooper, even old Fuzzbo today, I thought Anderson Cooper did an outstanding job. I thought he did an outstanding job, if you like, a setup man.
On behalf of Hillary,
on behalf of Hillary Clinton.
Did a great job.
That's right. Yeah. So what we have an interesting thing going on here, though, is we have an interesting dynamic. And once again, we're going to fill this out a little bit more with Ed Klein, but I don't think it was any coincidence that about the time the debate was going on, the White House lets it be known that, well, President Obama last Sunday on 60 Minutes when he said her personal server was not a national security threat, well, he kind of didn't really mean that because, in fact, it was a national security threat. Mm-hmm. And we know that particular hackers were going after it. Mm-hmm. It's no coincidence, I don't think, that came out at the same time that she was having her big moment in the limelight. Yeah. Right? And there she was, all aglow, and oh boy, wasn't she something else. But believe me, last night was the high point in the Hillary Clinton campaign.
For the whole campaign.
Because in 10 days, she's got the hearings, the Benghazi hearings, and a chimpanzee with one eye and one foot and no hands could tear her up at that hearing. So we'll see what the Republicans can do.
She probably won't have the questions before the hearing.
I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt
like last night, right?
Exactly. And then I do believe that now there's going to be more pressure from the White House. It'll be a friendly sort of pressure on Joe Biden to get into this race. Because once again, and we're going to flesh this out later on with Ed Klein, the last thing the Obamas want is Hillary Clinton in the White House.